It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast for the 16th day of November, 2023. We're going to do things a little different order this morning, folks, for a reason, which I'll explain. The headlines today: Carnival guest banned for life. Details from Bahamas excursion tragedy of yesterday. Carnival Jubilee complete sea trials. Viking adds another Mekong river ship. Royal Caribbean couple given a bad cabin. Carnival cancels 2 more Panorama cruises and a crew member goes overboard. That and a lot more here at 11 o'clock this morning on the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. Now, the top story today, folks, it deals with the situation with the lady who got banned for life. And I'm going to read the story in a minute. But before I do that, and the reason we're doing things a little out of order is because he's on a tight schedule today. But I got to bring in my expert on this area, and that would be Nanook of the North, John, the former Cruise Amigo, John. You guys all know John, of course. Now, here's the deal, folks. So, Carnival Cruise Line, bless their hearts, has banned a woman for life on any Carnival Cruise Line ship for packing CBD gummies in her carry-on bag, and this happened back in August. It was on an August cruise from Miami. Despite the controlled substance being conditionally legal in Florida, all major cruise lines prohibit such items, as is clearly stated on Carnival's prohibited items list. Melinda van Veldhuizen, a loyal member of Carnival Cruise Line's very important fun person program, who receives priority boarding as a perk for her many sailings with Carnival, will never again set sail on a fun ship. Van Veldhuizen has been banned for life for attempting to bring gummies on a cruise aboard the Carnival Horizon. The gummies, which Van Veldhuizen claims to use as an occasional sleep aid, were in her backpack. When going through security at check-in for her cruise, security spotted the item and took her into a secure area in Port Miami. Doesn't say what they did to her in the secure area. The gummies were legally purchased online, and while CBD is conditionally legal in Florida, items must have less than 0.3 THC to be legal. Van Veldhuizen's gummies were only 0.01, well below the legal threshold. Carnival Cruise Line bans all CBD product, regardless of the regulations, laws, or restrictions from home ports in different states. These are clearly on the prohibited list for Carnival. And then Carnival Ambassador John Heald added that, in line with the strict rules of the United States Customs and Border Protection, marijuana, medical marijuana, and its oil-based forms are not allowed to be brought into the ships. It is illegal to do so. So that's the story, folks. The poor lady's gotten banned because she had some gummies. So now I've made no, I don't hide the fact that I use John's products, and John, as for 16 months now, has been dealing in CBD products up in Minnesota. So, John, give us your thoughts about this news story.
Well, we got to take it apart because there's some glaring legal issues with what's written, at least on my version of the thing. And one of the words here is that a federal law, this is Carnival speaking, a federal law under which CBD is defined as a controlled substance. That is not true. Since 2018, in the United States, CBD products are not illegal. They are absolutely positively legal. My stores, and by the way, Chillie, since we've talked, I don't say my store anymore. It's my stores. We have stores across North Minnesota, and we just got a call this week from a giant operator down in a big city, wants us to come and operate their store for them. Because, we've been in it now, separate from my retail experience, just like you have a ton of background business experience, but adding that to the money, the investment, the lawyers, everything that we put in the last couple of years, we kind of know this business backwards and forwards. Now, here's the thing with this particular thing. I understand that cruise ships ban them. I can't change that. It's their choice. They're doing that because you can't take all of the THC out of a gummy. Now, you can make gummies that don't have anything in them. About 20% of what you can buy in gas stations and quick grab places and internet don't have any THC or CBD in them. They're just gummies, like re-poured Harbo gummies from the grocery store. So that's an interesting problem. But assuming that it is federally legal, and it is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, every product that I have in my store, you can fly with. The TSA lets my THC and CBD, but not only my CBD products, but my THC products are legal for you to fly anywhere in the United States or on an airplane going in and out of the country. The only problem is they're not then responsible for what you find when you get to Romania or what you find even when you get to Germany. But from the TSA's point of view, what this lady had, she could have totally legally flown with. They are totally legal in the state of Florida. It is marijuana, THC, that's derived from the hemp plant. And some people try and make a distinction there, but hemp and marijuana are the difference between getting a carrot that grows this big around and a carrot that grows this big around. It's just different genetic strains of this plant that over time have had the THC bred out of them, but there's enough residue there that we can concentrate it and make legal products, legal any state in the United States. I can't ship to Iowa and I can't ship to Utah, but they're not illegal when you get there. I just can't ship to those two. Because when you say I can ship to 48 states, they automatically think, oh, Hawaii and Alaska. That's what we've always thought as we've grown up, right? But I can ship to 48 states, just not Iowa and not Utah. Ironically, Amazon and a million other shippers don't even care about that. They're dumping product in everywhere. So this lady had a really unfortunate experience on the one hand. On the other hand, we can't get the word out enough. You can't bring anything that's even fake CBD onto a boat because they have no way to tell if it's a CBD gummy with less than 1/3 of 1% of residual, say residual 3 times, please, THC, or it could have 300 milligrams, or there's even some 2,000 milligram gummies, which in my mind, that's a whole nother show. We believe in doses. We believe that the dose should be about equal to like what's in alcohol in a beer. And that dose then would be 5 thousandths of 1 gram in any one piece of gummy or chocolate. But there are companies that are putting out way illegal, and they have been sold just around our other stores. So we have people coming into our store, just like you go and buy beer at the store, you're expecting it to have the alcohol content of a typical beer. All of a sudden you buy beer at another place and it's literally pure alcohol. That's a bad experience for people. So the bottom line on this is no CBD products, no THC products, nothing at all like this, because these idiots, and I'm telling you, in this case, Carnival loved sailing with you, had a good time. You are wrong. At the very worst, you should have confiscated this. If I get on the ship with a bottle of whiskey, what do they do, Casey? Casey. Oh God, see how my day is going? What do they What do they do, Chillie? If you try and get on a ship with a bottle of whiskey, what do they do?
They're going to take it.
They take it away. They don't throw you in handcuffs and separate you for 2.5 hours and grill you like you're the latest drug dealer cartel coming out of southern Mexico. They take it away. This is terrible. And Carnival, it's terrible.
Because I know of folks that have successfully taken CBD products on cruises. I know one person that got caught once, but they didn't get banned for life.
No, of course not. This is
they took it.
You're going to see.
They just confiscated
Carnival. You're going to see Carnival back up on this. I promise you. Wait a few days. Carnival's going to go, we made a mistake. We didn't understand. Here's a free trip for everybody. This is really severe. And every person, if you're getting on a Carnival ship, you should go down to the main customer service thing and say, I just want to tell you that you made a huge mistake here. And this lady shouldn't be banned for life. Unless there's more to the story, Chillie. Unless there's more to the story.
The other part of it is there a possibility that this wasn't the first time that Carnival had an issue with this lady, which might add at least a little credence, not enough to make it right, but could be a possibility.
Or were they reacting, were they giving shade back? Were they, were they try? Because, as you know, with the TSA or any of these government agencies, there's no use trying to fight with the guy that's in front of you. He's just doing it. He or she are just doing their job. So maybe they, really presented some nasty pushback. We don't know that part of the story. But as the story stands right now, this is a really big mistake on Carnival's part. And let's think the glass half full, Pollyanna, and that they're going to fix it.
All right. Before we go, do you have time for one quick story?
I do. Which one do you want to hear about?
I need the story.
The gummy bear?
Yes.
Okay, folks, we don't have gummies in our store that have THC in them that are in the shape of a gummy bear anymore, because the state wants to make sure that when a kid sees it, there's not the attraction of, oh, I know what a gummy bear is. Mommy lets me have those. Therefore, I'm going to taste these. So all of our products are now basically cubes or cylinders. But back in the time when the gummy bears were still looking like the gummy bears you can buy at the store, a lady came in, back pain, going to have surgery. Opioids are scary to her, but really in pain. Heard that our products help with pain, which they do. And so she really kind of begrudgingly bought a bottle for $25. But then the fears of the marijuana mongers, of all of the history of this kicked in. So she went home and she only cut off the ears. Now, you know how big those ears are on a gummy bear. I mean, they're just these little things that sit up here. So what part of that gummy bear do you think was the ears? And also remember that in Minnesota, we dose at 5 milligrams. Every other state doses at 10 milligrams. So right away from Colorado, Florida, California, we're at the gummy is half as strong. She cuts off the ears. She eats the ears, and she has a 4-hour bad trip, almost emergency room at the hospital experience. Now, folks, this just proves why Dr. Love's Traveling Salvation Show back in the 1880s, like the guy that was on The Wizard of Oz that had the carriage that what's her name, Dorothy, ended up at when the tornado hit. You can put anything in a bottle and sell it, and for a certain number of people, it's going to work really good. It's just impossible. I mean, we get more THC in our skin just handling the gummies when we're packaging them than she could have possibly got. but this is the experience. So this is just the crazy part of the business that we're in. We never know. This is Cadence, by the way, and he will not leave me alone. He just hangs on me now.
Hi,
But
Cadence.
that's my experience. And so if anybody says, well, do these products really work? It's like, let me tell you a story. Or maybe the THC is concentrated in the ears. I don't know. I'm not, maybe when they were drying, maybe they hung them upside down and all the THC flowed to the, I don't know. But anyway, and it all fell down.
All right,
but
John, I know you're
folks, we're having
coming right up to
got to
a
say
call.
goodbye.
All right.
Yep.
We'll see you later. Thank you, John.
Bye.
All right. That's John Reitmeyer, my buddy up in Minnesota. And folks, I have not hidden the facts at all. Matter of fact, I did it live on one of my shows with John that I use his products. Anytime I'm having a bad day, whether it's pain, whether it's mental, whether it's just a feel crappy day, I'll take a little chocolate mint, and then I'm in 45 minutes, I'm back to normal, and I'll sleep like a baby that night. So I'm a believer in John's products. I would now, I don't take them with me to get on cruise ships. I'm not going to take that chance. But man, I would love to be able to, because as hard as I work on cruise ships and as tired as I'll get, that's the time that I really need them, and I can't take them, and that's too bad. All right. Before we get on with the rest of the show, let's talk about my friends at Scootaround and Will Power Chairs. Folks, we have talked about this yesterday, of course. We've got a holiday coming up. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. So Will Power Chairs and Scootaround is serving up some Thanksgiving special savings to express our gratitude for our amazing customers. To kick off the festivities, we're rolling out a Black Friday deal early. You get 10% off across the board, the entire range of top-tier mobility solutions, from the best-selling mobility scooters to the state-of-the-art wheelchairs and more. As an added bonus, we're offering a 30-day risk-free trial on the Will Model C2. That's what I use. And the Model F. No return shipping or restocking fees. Save 10% site-wide. Use code Friday23 when you shop online or call 844-664-7467. Just tell them that Chillie sent you. They'll know who that is. All right, guys. Let's see where we got to here. By the way, if you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome here. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. If you're listening via the podcast and ever want to jump over to the video feed, there's always a link in the description, so you can do just that in case you want to take a look at pictures or clips or interviews that I might have on that day's show. All right, so before we get on to the news today, my buddy Jason sent this over this morning. They're right off the coast of Colombia. They should have now landed in Cartagena, which is one of my favorite ports. Yeah, looking weather this morning as they go into Cartagena. It doesn't look like much of a beach day. I'm not sure what he has today in the way of excursions, but that looks like it might be a little crappy this morning. All right, the update from yesterday. And this is information that Chillie's Cruises has been able to come up with. The Blue Lagoon Island excursion originates at the Nassau Cruise Port, where guests board a 100-passenger water shuttle to the island, located approximately 5 miles off the coast of Paradise Island. Shore excursion companies operate independently from the cruise line. Cruise lines sell the tours in exchange for a commission on a per tour sold basis. 74-year-old Emma Hess from Bloomfield, Colorado, unfortunately died in the incident. Circumstances surrounding her passing were not released, however, but it was confirmed that she was a passenger on Independence of the Seas. The next story this morning has to deal with the Carnival Jubilee. Carnival Jubilee is Carnival's first ever cruise ship, built in Germany, and is currently in its final stages of construction. The ship celebrated a major milestone this week when it successfully completed its sea trials. The LNG-powered ship performed extremely well in all areas, according to Captain Andrea Catalani. Carnival Cruise Line is scheduled to take delivery of the Carnival Jubilee on December 4th. The ship will head straight to Galveston, Texas, where the vessel will begin sailing week-long cruises to the Western Caribbean starting December 23rd. All right, guys, I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. The next story, guys, today comes from Viking. And I actually have two things about Viking. Viking is expanding river cruises in Asia with another ship that is being custom built for the Mekong River. Viking Tonle will be the sister ship to Viking Saigon and will sail between Kampong Cham, Cambodia, and Mai Tho, Vietnam, starting in October of 2025. The cruise ship is currently under construction and will sail the cruise line's popular 15-day Magnificent Mekong itinerary. Due to high demand, Viking added more sailing dates in late 2025 and has opened all of the 2026 dates for bookings. Now, this morning, folks, I looked up a Viking river cruise because I saw that they are, doing a big fancy Black Friday sale. So I looked it up and I picked out one of the cruises and I priced it out as a solo accessible cabin. Now, the Viking River Cruise in the U.S., this was in the U.S., by the way. It was a Mississippi River Cruise. Okay. The Viking River Cruises that they use in the U.S. have, I don't know, 6 or 9 accessible cabins, more than like the American ships have, the American Cruise Line ships. So there are plenty of accessible cabins. And of course, an elevator. So, you can access everything. On these particular ships, the first level is where everything is, the restaurant and the bars and all that kind of thing. The cabins are actually up above that. It's not that way on all river ships. But anyway, so I checked it out. And it was a 7-day cruise. Now, it was solo. And unfortunately, Viking still hits you with 100%. So I'm paying double. It was 10 grand. And I said, now, admittedly, that included round trip airfare. It included a drinks package. It included one excursion per port of call, which is on a river cruise is every day. So an excursion every day. It includes Wi-Fi. And what else did it include? I can't remember. There's another thing in that list. So, I mean, it was everything, basically. But it would cost me 10 grand. Well, I can't afford, 10 grand. That's my budget for a year on cruises. I can't do that on shoot my wad on one cruise. So we need to work with Viking to either they need to bring me on to promote the cruises, which I'd love to do, or somebody sponsor me to go on one of these 10 grand ships just to see what they're like. Because I can't afford that. Wow. And I'm not saying anything against Viking, and I'm sure they're wonderful. I mean, we've had reports about Viking cruises that they're fantastic. So I'm going to stick with the Norwegian and Carnival. So I just saw Mr. Bucket List popped in this morning. Good to see you, Justin. I'll get over there in the chat room here in a minute. All right, so the next story this morning, boy, was this up. This was a terrible one. In a booking mix-up aboard Allure of the Seas, a couple checking in for the ship's November 13th. That was this day before. It was a couple days ago. What was that, Sunday? Anyways, the sailing on the 13th had challenges from check-in into their stateroom, and the confusion didn't end there. The couple, whose full names have not been disclosed, first encountered difficulty when checking in for a 4-night cruise to the Bahamas. According to the couple, the check-in service person thought there was something wrong with the reservations, but continued to check them in for the sailing, and the couple proceeded to embarkation. Upon reaching their assigned stateroom, according to the room number printed on their boarding pass, the couple had no keys waiting. So they went to guest services to receive their keys. Unfortunately, that took 40 minutes at guest services. And that was only the start of the difficulty. Because when they got up to the room and they entered the room, the couple was greeted with what you're seeing here in that kind of wavy, not too clear picture. Instead of a made-up bed, they found a flooded room, or at least it had been flooded. They found torn up carpeting, obvious water damage, bare bedsteads upended, and mattresses without bedding, furniture in disarray, a foul odor, and industrial fans working away trying to dry out the cabin. Apparently, the couple's assigned stateroom, Deck 6, Room 554, had a flood on the previous cruise, but the reassignment to a different stateroom had not been effectively communicated prior to check-in. Well, I would say not. According to the couple, it took a total of 3 hours to sort out the confusion, which included going to a new Deck 6 stateroom that had been booked for a different family and still had children's bracelets and welcome information inside, as well as a delivery of chocolate-covered strawberries. Even the stateroom steward was unaware of the switch, having asked about the couple's baby when they do not have one. The couple was given $300 onboard credit to make up for the inconvenience, but is still fuming over the confusion and unsatisfied with not having gotten a more sincere apology for the mix-up, nor were they granted the compensation they requested. The couple had said they were told at guest services that Their stateroom would be upgraded, yet they were placed in the same deck in a similar balcony cabin. They had requested a full refund for the sailing on embarkation day just to get off the ship and forget the cruise and go home, arranging their own airfare. Well, of course, Royal Caribbean came up with a bunch of reasons why they couldn't do either one of those, and I just wanted to give them the $300 and hide them away. So I feel really bad for those people. I did not hear how the cruise went or is going, but that's a little sad. All right, the next story, folks, has to do with Carnival again. Carnival Cruise Line has just announced the cancellation of 2 additional sailings of the Carnival Panorama as the ship undergoes engine repairs to restore her maximum cruising speed. The December 9th and December 16th sailings are now canceled due to complications in reaching an appropriate dry dock facility, but the ship will return fully repaired for the holiday sailing departing December 23rd. Well, let's hope so. All right. The last story today, folks, is one of those sad ones. A search and rescue operation is underway in the waters off Puerto Rico after a man overboard signal was issued on the MSC Seascape yesterday. The U.S. Coast Guard is leading the search for a passenger believed to be a crew member on the ship, which is based at Port Miami. Guests on board the Seascape learned a passenger was missing from the ship about 9 p.m. It was actually day before yesterday, as the vessel was making its way toward the Dominican Republic following a port call at San Juan, Puerto Rico. Information about the missing crew member is limited. It's believed the missing person is a male Mauritian national who works as a hotel cleaner. Seascape employs more than 1,600 crew members of many nationalities. The ship stopped sailing when the emergency alert was issued, and the ship's lifeboats were lowered to begin the search. Coast Guard ship sent a helicopter arrive and joined in on the search. And as you might expect, they were unsuccessful. So, let's see. What did I forget today? Did I forget anything? I don't think so. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the news portion of today. I would like to thank John for coming in and offering his expertise and opinions on the CBD issue. So that's, of course, it's always good to talk to John. I miss doing stuff with John. We did stuff weekly for years. So, all right, over in the chat room, Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve. Hot Air's here. Let's ban all the folks upset with the Christmas decoration going up on Carnival. Poor John Hurt. How does he stay sane? Yeah, I know. That's he gets a lot of crap. He really does. Mike's with us. Cindy's here. There's Amy. Hi, Amy. Cindy was supposed to be on Allure this week. So glad I canceled. Weather looks awful. Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's, by the way, folks, if you're going this week into today or tomorrow into Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, there's a lot of flooding down there. So be careful. Give yourself extra time if you can. Emily's with us. Good morning, Emily. She says hello to John. Cindy, Hot Air Tom wants to know, Cindy, why you canceled. There was a recent post on NCL Latitudes asking if CBD was allowed. I posted it's in the NCL not allowed list. Others were saying go ahead and bring them. Well, I won't do that when I'm on NCL just because I don't want to get caught and I don't want them to confiscate my products. So I'll just wait till we get home. I would love to see the cruise lines and whoever else is involved. John Heald seems to think it's, part of the government thing, which I'm kind of disputing that. But anyway, I'd love for the cruise ships to approve them. Take it off the bad list. Hell, let me set up a little store on the cruise ships to sell products for John. How about that? You get on the ship, you can buy booze. Why not buy gummies or chocolate mints? Anyway, that's just a thought for the future. John, can you ship to Virginia? Absolutely, he can. He ships to me on a regular basis. We also have a couple customers that get pet CBD products as well. They're pet gummies. Well, they're not gummies, but they're for pets. You got pets that are afraid of everything, or especially like around holidays when there's fireworks going off and the dog freaks out. We got something that'll help that. Or some older dogs that are just generally in pain a lot. These will make the dogs feel better as well. So I got a couple of people that ship that John ships, pet products to. Hot Air says, I bought a hemp shirt once. Will it get me in trouble? No, because there's probably no pot in the hemp shirt. It was made from hemp, not made from marijuana, even though it's the same plant. Mike says, great to see you, John. There's Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Gary Older Than Dirt here again. Hi, Gary. Katie's with us. Good morning, everyone. I am stuck in my car in pouring rain, waiting so I can bring in all my school stuff out of the rain. Yeah, you got some rough weather down there. Dennis says perhaps Carnival is concerned that the gummies will interfere with onboard alcohol sales. Well, that could be too. I don't know. I thought it made for a very interesting look at two entirely different viewpoints on what happened this morning, and then you can draw your own conclusion. If Carnival was right, Carnival was wrong. Again, I side with John, obviously, because I use the products, and I am very. I mean, I don't use them anytime that they're going to affect me. If I've had a bad day and I'm getting ready to go to bed or sitting in the chair watching TV at night, and I've had a bad day or I don't feel good, that's when I take them, and it helps me sleep. I'll sleep like a baby. So our turkey will be consuming large amounts of another turkey. Okay. Emily says hello to everybody. What did I do wrong? Catalani. Oh, Catalani. Open A, eyes and father. Catalani. Sorry about that one. Was that the guy's name or something? Catalani. All right. I went over that without even thinking. Gary says hi to M. Dennis laughs at Tom. Cindy says going to try Margaritaville at Sea next weekend, most likely. My friend is a healthcare worker and got a $250 $99 yearly pass and gets to take me for just port charges. That's what the other thing was on the Viking River cruise. It was all the taxes and port charges are all included in that 10 grand. There's Mr. Bucket List. Hi, Justin. Emily says, I spent 10 grand plus just going to the Philippines and hanging out. Yeah, but you were gone longer and you went a hell of a lot further than for me to go to Mississippi and get on a boat and sail for a week. So you got a lot more for your 10 grand, Emily, than I would get for that. Cindy looked to see if they serve Margaritaville jerk prawns or lime prawns on board. I don't remember prawns when I was on it, but that was before this last remake. So I will look forward to Cindy's report on that. Also, Cindy, just kind of see if you notice anything that would help accessible guests, because that was pretty bad when I was there. Then it says hello to Justin. Emily says, hello, Mr. Bucket List. Cindy says, will do, Dennis. There's Sonny out in Mississippi. Speaking of Mississippi, hi, Sonny. I think John can ship to all 50 states. Nope, just 48. He can't ship to Iowa and he can't ship to Utah. That's weird, but that's the rules. Here's the thing. Due to personal reason, my uncle is now in Texas with family for a few months. If I knew somehow I would have waited until they got to Texas. Just saying. Yeah, it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper for you to go to Texas than to the Philippines. So, would that have been more fun than a trip to the Philippines? Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Sonny, Emily. You had a good trip to the Philippines. Don't worry about what you spent. Yeah, and next time you can go to Texas, but you had a fabulous trip. So, and that's on a bucket list for a lot of us. We've never done that. Hyder says, you didn't enjoy the Philippines? Sonny John said 48 states, Ohio and Utah, Iowa and Utah, not Ohio. He can ship to Ohio. Hello, Sonny. I think he said except for 2 states. Yeah, Iowa and Utah. Those are the 2. Thanks, Tom. I'm late and didn't get to see John. I'll watch on replay. Yeah, we did that right at the first of the show because we were running right up to a 9:15 business call that he had to be on. And so, I took care of John first thing, and then he had to run in a hurry. Emily says, at least I got to go and see what the Philippines is all about. I will never go back there again. Flying in the country, once in a lifetime opportunity. Beautiful beaches in the Philippines. I've never been. Oh, Lord, I have a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale next Sunday. Well, by next Sunday, hopefully that'll be cleared off. Celebrity Ascent. Oh, you're the man, Justin. By the way, Justin, you and I need to chat one of these days. Chillie's Cruises No Weather report today. Mr. Weatherman on YouTube had shown 2 areas to be watching, one in Southeast Caribbean, the other in East Coast of Florida. I wonder if John has any special discount for his YouTube friends. No, he doesn't give me a discount either. And that's fine. I don't want one. I mean, I'll pay the price. I call and say, I need this, this, and this. And he takes care of it and charges my credit card. That's all. Dennis says nor'easter season begins soon. Emily says it takes so long to get there, and they keep the shades down in the airplanes. And if you don't drive, you have to depend on people, countries, and transportation. Well, yeah, that's true. And everything is so far away. Katie says, hoping I have good weather for cruise embarkation on Sunday. You need a car in the Philippines. I would not tell you guys to go on their public transportation. Just don't do it. Get a car. Carnival Captain Andrea. Yeah. Oh, he's from Italy. No wonder I said it wrong. Okay, so that was, let me go back and make sure I do it right, Dennis. Where is it? 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 Okay, now I know it was here. Is there a live stream next Thursday? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide on that. I mean, I can do a show. It probably would be a short show. I don't care. Anyway, so the gentleman's name was Catalani. Catalani. And I'm never sure how fast to do those. So it's Captain Catalani. Make sure I said it right. The jerk prawns. Yeah, that's the jerk prawns. Catalani. Reminder that the Italian syllables generally follow a consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel format. Yep. Okay. That's going to wrap me up for today. I'll do a show next Thursday. And if you want to join me, fine. If you don't want to join me, fine. I mean, I realize a lot of you are going to be preparing for holiday things, and that's great. So I'll be here. And if it's just me, then that's okay too. Because we're actually doing Thanksgiving here, dinner here at dinner time instead of in the afternoon. So I know a lot of you will have a different schedule. So that's okay. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Please, guys, smash that thumbs up button before you leave. That would help us out tremendously. And if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm planning on hitting 5,000 by 4:15 today. Actually, I'm getting pretty close. I'm up to 4,700 now. So, all right. That's it, guys. It's great talking to you. So, what am I doing? Oh, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Maybe not on a Viking river cruise, but on the high seas. So I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a fabulous day, everybody.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.